What's up and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to discuss the current Borderlands Dilemma that we currently face in 2023. The simplest definition for the word dilemma would be a situation where a difficult choice needs to be made, and if you still don't understand, I'll put a more technical definition up on screen. Now, for our beloved franchise, essentially what we're going to be discussing is the dilemma that the series is currently in, and in my opinion, what we should do to fix it. Alright, with that out of the way, let's just dive straight into it. It should be no secret by now that the current state of the Borderlands franchise isn't great. And if we're being real, it's completely stagnant. With the last real bits of news coming in the form of us finding out that Gearbox is hiring for Borderlands 4. With it being discovered over on LinkedIn, and if you want to hear more about that, the link to that video will be in the top of the description. But other than that, and them stealth dropping the Pandora's Box collection, we've had not a damn thing in terms of discussion for a new Borderlands game. It's been alluded to and guaranteed to be a thing, but with the more recent news of Gearbox going up for sale, the company who makes these damn games, it's brought a whole nother question into the mix. Could Borderlands 4 be canceled? As of right now, with the entire company basically up in the air, nothing is guaranteed. Because while we know it's at least in pre-production, we don't know the implications this sale is going to have on said project. We know we're getting a book, a movie, Facebookerlands Live, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and that's about it. I don't know about you, and I'm not trying to be negative when I say this, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in most of that garbage. Only one of those projects I'm even remotely interested in is the Borderlands movie. And anybody out there who knows any details at all about said movie, that should say a hell of a lot for where we're at. You know, a movie pretty much everybody is expecting to bomb, yet my stupid ass is still gonna pay for a ticket. The reason I have to bring all this up is because the current future of this IP, if I were to put a color on it, it looks very red in my vision. I see nothing but disaster ahead of us with how the dominoes have fallen thus far. And that pains me to say as a massive fan of Borderlands, but with how the last couple Borderlands games turned out, it's hard not to be anything but worried. With all that being said, how do I think we can resolve this dilemma that we're currently in? Well, Gearbox needs to sell to somebody who gives a damn first. Then hopefully it's smooth sailing from there. Because Gearbox is currently in a position where they cannot afford to lose more fans. They've done so much damage over the last decade, it's honestly incredible that they've even remained afloat. Now their back's up against the wall, and they're gonna have to try and figure out how to get some funds to even make Borderlands 4 in the first place, with an alleged Saudi fund of over $2 billion not going through, which eventually led to the current sale of the company. I'm going to break down 3 simple steps that I think everybody can come to an agreement on for where we need to go from here. Like I said, the company would need to sell first, but after that, you start listening to all the community backlash and the outrage for all the mistakes over the years, and you actually apply it to your next game. Step 2. Hype up Borderlands 4 in any way that you can, whether it's making Borderlands 2 crossplay, remastering the game, or hell, why not a full-on remake? Obviously, this would probably never happen, as they more than likely don't want to waste resources on it. Regardless, we all know a remaster of BL2 would do numbers, because of course it would. Step 3. Give us a damn Borderlands 4 beta. Allow us players to figure out what you've already messed up. I think that one goes without saying. Gearbox more than likely wouldn't even consider this. Why? I don't know. Fear of us realizing the product is garbage and just not buying? But there's a workaround there too. Not one I like, but you could make the beta exclusive to players who pre-order, which I think if anything, it would secure more buys. And even though BL4 looks really far out right now, it's better to go ahead and mention all this now before it's too late. But despite all that, as I mentioned earlier, Gearbox is currently up on the market for sale. And until that sale goes through, I don't plan on making any more Borderlands 4 discussion videos. With the Embracer group saying hell no, we don't want to re-sign with Gearbox, Gearbox failing to make ends meet in just about every way with a good chunk of the fan base. Hell, 2 weeks ago I made a video called The Future of Borderlands where I gave my brief thoughts on all of the upcoming Borderlands projects. I said at the end of that video that the future looks very bleak. Simply put, it's lacking the life and love that we all know it for. It all feels so corporate and money driven that instead of continuing to build a core loyal audience, they're just driving more players away. And if you don't think that they're driving players away, tell me why I've had hundreds of comments the last couple months of players stating over and over again that they didn't even give Wonderlands a chance after the disgrace and abomination that Borderlands 3 and New Tales were. To say they haven't alienated a part of their fan base would be ignorant at best. And no offense to anybody else who enjoys the later titles, I just think overall they've done a hell of a lot more harm than they have good. So yeah, Gearbox and the Borderlands franchise are reaching extinction to barely holding on at best. If it tells you anything about how low the interest really is in Borderlands, a majority of the established creators here on YouTube are consistently pulling more numbers than the ongoing official Gearbox-led Borderlands podcast. Oh, and Jolts, thanks for the shout out in the most recent video, by the way. And yeah, I know the promotion for that podcast has been lackluster, but come on now. That's just embarrassing. And don't tell me it's just because it's a podcast either and it's long, blah, 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 blah. No, there's plenty of successful podcasts on YouTube. Pine Park, for example. Dude's just chilling and smoking, shooting the shit. And they're doing like triple, like 10 times maybe even the numbers of that damn podcast Gearbox has. Actually, I'm looking at one of their episodes right now and it has more plays than the entirety of the Borderlands podcast combined. And if your argument is that that industry is booming, okay, sure. But you're going to tell me that the gaming industry isn't? Even though we have a lot of garbo releases these days, the gaming industry is making more money than they ever have before. If you're asking me, I gave some pretty good reasons as to how it could be fixed. As to if they'll listen, that ain't up to me. They claim they watch videos, read comments, and whatever, with members of the Gearbox staff literally paid to read their Discord, comment sections, and more. But holy shit, I don't know if they're just watching select creators, but I can almost guarantee they're turning a blind eye to a lot of the criticism. You know, their CEO is pretty good at that. So that's the dilemma. And while they've already lost a lot of fans that are likely to never return, there's always time to turn it around. It's just a matter of how it all plays out. But I want to know what you all think. Do you think that they're listening? Do you think the downfall trend will continue? Reading the comments the last couple months, it seems like a lot of us are on the same page and that it doesn't really look too great right now. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I enjoy reading and responding to all of your guys' comments. So let me know. But yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. I hope you all did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure to smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. I got more Borderlands videos coming every Friday and Sunday, so please keep your eyes peeled out for that. But yeah, it just really sucks to see where we're at in 2023 going on 2024. And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting Borderlands 4 until 2025, 2026. And that's if Gearbox can sell. There's just a lot of moving parts, and it's hard to say what's going to happen next. We're just going to have to keep our seatbelts fastened and stay along for the ride. I'm not giving up on Borderlands, man. I wish nothing but the best for the franchise in the future. It's just hard not to realize the spot that we're in and how dire it really looks. Please just try and stay positive, even with how horrible it looks. But yeah, that's really it for today, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching it in its entirety. I love you all to death. I'll catch you guys on Sunday. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.